In this session, we will learn how to file or amend an IFTA tax return in CCOWS. To begin, expand the Services header on the left-hand side of the screen and select IFTA. On this screen, select File/Amend from the Tax Return tile. This brings up the tax return search screen. The return year and return quarter are pre-populated to the current filing period, and the fuel type is defaulted to diesel. These options can be changed from the drop-downs. If the company uses alternative fuel types, such as gas, these must be entered as separate returns for each reporting period. If the fuel type is no longer being used, your license must be updated. Once the correct information is chosen, select Proceed. This will bring you to the tax return entry screen. The top portion of this screen and all of the following screens are protected and contain the account information pulled from the enterprise level. The postmark date is also a protected field. It is always defaulted to today's date until the tax return has been completed. If the company had no operations during the filing period, select the checkbox to the right of No Operation. Under the Jurisdiction Details section, there are a few entry options. If the jurisdiction is already in the grid at the bottom, miles and gallons must be input in the grid. If it is the first time you have traveled to a jurisdiction, you have the ability to choose jurisdictions from the map or the selection list. Once you have selected the jurisdiction, input the total miles traveled. Entering this amount populates the total taxable miles. If the total taxable miles are different from the total miles, you can change this number. Enter the total paid gallons for the jurisdiction. Select Add to add the information to the grid below. You will enter the total miles and total taxable miles and the tax paid gallons into the grid for any jurisdiction not added above. You can add and remove states as needed when originally filing. In order to remove a jurisdiction, check the box and select Remove. If there were any miles traveled and gallons purchased in non-IFTA jurisdictions, total them and input the numbers in the non-IFTA jurisdiction boxes. In order to preview your total miles and gallons, select the Calculate button and select Proceed. If any errors have been made, a message appears at the top of the screen. Fix any errors and select Proceed. This will bring you to the verification screen. On this screen, more details of the return are shown. It will show how many months the return is late, total miles, total gallons, and MPGs. It will also show the return amount, as well as if there are any penalties or interest. The amount due is shown here. At the bottom, information entered on the previous screen is shown. If there are any errors, use the Back button to return to the tax return entry screen. If everything is acceptable, select Proceed. If you have bulk storage, upload your backup documentation here. Otherwise, hit Proceed. If there are any credits from prior tax returns on the account, they can be seen in IFTA escrow. If the return has a credit over $100, the system will automatically process a refund request. At the bottom, you have the option to view the invoice in a PDF format. If there is an error, select the Correct Tax Return button to revisit the return and make any corrections. Once all information has been verified, select Proceed to enter the payment section. If you have any more transactions to complete, select Add to Cart. If not, select Proceed. This concludes the module for filing or amending an IFTA tax return in COWS.